Okay, guys, if you have any questions for Rabbi Hajioff, you can comment below. Oh, good, RabbiLawrence.com. He posted it. Okay. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are going for round 2 with Rabbi Lawrence, the one and only, as we welcome everybody back. If any of you have questions for Rabbi Lawrence, Rabbi Hajioff, I can't say Rabbi Lawrence, it just doesn't go in my brain. Rabbi Hajioff, comment below, guys. People are loving it. I'm so happy. Hold on, we're just waiting for Rabbi Hajioff to come on. If you guys have any questions about dating, about Judaism, about life, about Mashiach, let me know. People like when we go back on the live. It's crazy. How do you spell his name? Well, now he's going to come on the live, so you'll see it. Hold on, he's coming on. You'll see his page. So you'll see his name. A lot of people sent in dating questions. So I don't know how much time we're gonna have, but I think we should have a dating. Oh, here you are. Hold on 1 second. Rabbi Hajioff, you hold on. Rabbi Hajioff, you're on the live? Rabbi Hajioff, hold on. Hold on 1 second. Rabbi Hajioff, you're on the live?
No.
Rabbi Hajioff, hold on. Rabbi Hajioff, you're on the live? Why does it keep on saying it over and over again? Why does it keep on saying it over and over again? Hi guys, welcome all of you amazing people on Instagram. We're waiting for Rabbi Hajioff. Let's see if that's him. All of you amazing people on Instagram. Here we go. Just take off your volume off of Zoom.
Thank
Hey.
you, Hashem.
Well, I have to get my thank you Hashem cap. Okay, hold on. Is your volume off on
Oh, yeah.
Okay. How do I get Tals, could you call somebody in my house and tell them to get my thank you Hashem cap? So funny because there's like a 5-minute delay on Instagram, Rabbi Hajioff. So you could say a joke, but they're really laughing, but their smiles and like smiley emojis come 10 minutes later when you're saying like a really sad story. So it's really messed up. Okay, so people want to know why like dating that they discuss it so much. Why are you so connected to that? Did you have like a crazy dating shidduchim experience?
So I tell you what happened. What really happened was like this. When I was in yeshiva, there was a rule that before you dated, we're going back 25 years, you had to listen to a 5-tape. Remember little cassette tapes? Remember those with the pencil?
With the pen.
So you actually had to listen to a 5-part series by the rabbi.
Did you see all the younger generation? They're like, "What's a cassette?" They're like, they don't know what you're talking about.
They don't even know what a floppy disk is. Forget that. So what did I do? So I listened to the tapes, and you had to date. By the way, the dating tapes were 5, the marriage tapes were 2, and I was like, "That's so strange." And then I started dating. I dated for a long time. It took me time to find a woman willing to put up with me. And I dated for a long time. I was one of those later daters, going on and on. And then I started working with young professionals, people in their 20s and early 30s. The age went up. And I became, it's going to sound weird, you go to yeshiva, you learn kosher, Shabbat, right, Chagim, right? All these laws. And suddenly you become a rabbi working with unaffiliated Jews in their 20s and 30s, and they're not asking you how to kosher a spoon. Right? They're saying to you, so I'm dating this guy, I'm dating this girl. I'm like, well, okay. And I actually had to become an expert in it and ask a lot of questions. I used to collect it all, and eventually it became lectures, then a lecture series, and then it became the book, Will You Marry Me? A lot of the stories and ideas of that, there's a lot more than that book, became a thing. So I became known as the dating rabbi. I had a blog for a long time, and it became my thing. Also, I set up a lot of couples. I led 30 trips to Israel, and every trip we did Kimat, a couple met and got married from that trip. One trip I led,
That's
5
crazy.
couples met and got married. 5 couples. Yeah.
And you're doing these trips still?
Weddings.
Are you still doing these trips?
Well, not in Corona, but yeah, we're going to start again. B'ezrat Hashem, yeah, through Chazak, New York.
Is that how you advertise? Like, you want to find your match? Come with me, Israel. Here we come.
We don't do that. That we don't do. Because then people are like, we're like, yeah, come to Israel, but be single. You know what I'm saying? And once we have them, we got them. And so I've got about that. I do a lot of weddings, you know. The first wedding I ever did, I was very nervous. I went for training. You know, when you deal with that population, that age, Baruch Hashem, I don't have to do many funerals, Baruch Hashem, but weddings I do a lot of. So I did a lot of weddings. But the first wedding I did,
you can't wear the thank you Hashem cap to a funeral. No.
Not even a wedding. I'm actually having a wedding this Sunday, performing a wedding this Sunday of an ex-CERN student. She's doing a Corona wedding. I have my special mask that I'll be wearing as well. So the first wedding I did, I must tell you one quick story. I've done about nearly 150 weddings at this point.
We love your stories because you deliver it so well.
This is a really weird story. The first or second wedding I did was a young woman, and she met this guy on one of my trips. So I had to do the wedding, you know. And she's like, I had a premonition before the chuppah that she was going to faint. I don't know why. I don't know where it came from, but it just came to me. And you know, performing a wedding, especially a first time, second time, it's very stressful. You got the family, you got the in-laws, ketubah, right? All these young religious boys who think you're not doing it right. You're dealing with a lot of insanity. So I did this chuppah, and I forgot about this fainting thing. But I remember enough that she came down to the chuppah, and I said, "Are you okay?" She said, "Yeah, I'm fine. So everyone marches down. During the chuppah, I forget about everything because I'm dealing with the wine, the brachot, and I'm calling up the people. I'm doing it all myself. The weddings I do, it's like a one-man show. And then behind me, I hear a, "Oi!" And her mother faints and goes, "Woo!" I turn around, and me and her husband catch the color's mother. This is on film.
My God.
We bring a chair, we set her down, right? And she was all woozy. She drank alcohol. The mother drank alcohol and went to her head. It was hot. She was stressed out. So now I'm there under the chuppah. Never done a wedding before. The husband's like smack in the face. Come around. The couple's standing there. I look out the audience and I say, I've always wanted to say this. Is there a doctor in the house? Not one. Not one doctor. Lawyers, accountants, finance professionals. The one girl in the back says, I'm a dental hygienist. Her teeth are fine.
Well, not after so much alcohol.
Why do you think that's even like, why is that even helping me? But it worked out very nice. Baruch Hashem, we worked through it. And I've done many more chuppahs before. I've never had such a premonition before or ever again. Baruch Hashem.
Oh my gosh, that's hysterical. What do you think is easier to be dating? Which scenario, in a Zoom type of life?
No, I have strict rules. I have plans of how to date because people, Shimi, seriously, have no idea how to date and no idea how to communicate. They have no idea. They literally just go in there like you date, right? You just do it and you date. And these people are dating for weeks and months and years. We know people are dating for years. I said, it's geneva, you're stealing. Would you put your hand into that person's pocketbook? That person's supposed to take out money? No. Then why would you take their time like this? Money you can return, time you can't return. There's certain things I'm known for, and this is one of them. I've told many people, breakup's enough, Dayenu. Make a decision, either getting married or you're not seeing each other again. And when I say that, I mean you're defriending on Facebook. That's what I mean. You're going to completely cut off from these people. This long-term dating, this disease we're seeing is a big problem. So I'm known as someone who, I want people to get married, but this endless dating is getting too much. I tell people, if you date seriously, and you're self-aware, you can know within 6 months whether this is the person for you. I'm talking about a regular person, not a Hasidim 1-2 days. 6 months is enough. You can know way before that as well. But people dating for years, after 6 months, you just repeat the same old stuff. So this 2-3 a dating thing is just
that's so true. That's so true. No, but I'm talking about like the backyard. Like today's one of my mentors. She set up her backyard. She's having a date there. people are Zooming, like not face to face?
It's something, but it's not the real thing. You need to have face-to-face connection because it's more than just a face. When you are dating, you get to see them. And what's meant to happen when you're dating, right? You get dressed up, you look good, you know. If you're a man, you brush all your teeth. You know, you really get there. You douse your body in polo after shaving. But you know what? Really, dating is the stressful times. You're stuck in traffic. What does he say? How does he react? She meets someone she knows. How does she introduce you? How does he talk to the waiter in the restaurant? How does he talk to the parking lot attendant? All these things. How does she talk to her friends that she sees? All these scenarios. You find that's dating. There you get to meet someone. Zoom, you look good, right? Who knows what's going on, right? It's not reality, so it's fine. You got to do what you got to do. But Zoom dating or online dating or WhatsApp or texting, people do this endlessly. All these things are fine. They maintain the relationship, but they don't help you attain a new understanding. Maintain,
but they don't attain. Wow.
So I spoke about it. I said Zoom dating is fine if you have no other way of doing anything else. Diane, you got to do what you got to do. I understand. But at some point, you got to be each other. You know, when Adam and Chava were made, they were created, the Midrash tells us, whatever this means, back to back. They were back to back like this. And what did Hashem do? He separated them and made them face to face. They had to be allowed to look at each other.
Look at each other.
Hearing a voice. You're not seeing this two-dimensional reality. There's nuances. There's body language. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on in the person.
Wow, guys, if you're loving what Rabbi Hajioff is saying, there's no way that I'm not bringing Rabbi Hajioff back to talk dating.
I got a lot more to say. I don't have a social life. I got a lot more to say. I'm going to be here all night.
That's a lie, guys. He doesn't have time for us, but he makes us feel like he has time for us, and that's real chesed.
This is the problem. 2020 dating, Shimi, is different from our day. I'll be honest with you, it's harder. I call it TMC. With something, what's TMC? Too much choice. TMC. You see, when your ancestors, your mother came, you were Yemenite originally?
Yes.
Yeah, you're Tamil. What happened back in Yemen? You think your great-grandmother had a choice? She's like, you see that guy over there? That 16-year-old?
Four donkeys for her.
That's it, halas. Right, that's it. Nowadays, one Toyota, a house in Israel, right? And then you're ready to go. It's so difficult now. Back then, you had no choice. My grandmother back in Persia, she got married at 15 or something, right? Was she happy?
Also, she got married at 15.
That's where it was. Were you happy? Who cares? You got married. That was the end of it. Diane,
who cares about your happiness?
That was the end of it. Who cares about your happiness? So you got married, Shimi, and that was it. You stayed married. Now we live in this world too much choice where just like you can't. Back then, you lived in Yemen, you lived in Mashhad, Tehran, right? Libya, Poland. The guy next door, if you were wealthy, the town over, right? But now we have this flat world, which has advantages, but also disadvantages. You know, they did an experiment. I must share this with you. They did an experiment in a store, and I think in a Costco. You know, they put out those free food samples in Costco, right? You know,
and then I'm like, oh, I want some.
Yeah,
it's not kosher. It's not kosher.
We have the cookie. They have a kosher cookie, like a Belvita. You have it. Your parents are like, you know what? Forget dinner. Go around the aisle, take again. Right? Everyone's going around 50 times. So they have this. So they put out 20 jams. They found 80% of the people who passed stopped to taste, but only like 5-10% bought. The next day, they went down from 20 jams to 5. Most people did not stop to taste, but those that did, 80% bought. You get it? That's what we're dealing with. There's so much. Everyone's in for a taste, but no one's buying. They don't realize that getting married and having kids, if you have a zchut to do that, is the first mitzvah on the Torah. The first mitzvah. They don't realize that. You're obligated to do it. I keep telling people, you keep Shabbat, you've got to try to get married. And this constant, endless dating, I know it's difficult. I know how hard it is. I don't think I would survive dating right now in 2020. Maybe that's why Hashem let me get married in the days of cassettes and tapes. But this is a challenge. And everyone, Shimi, everyone needs to be involved in this dating world. Everyone needs, forget Shafhanim. Everyone needs to be involved and have a few people under their belt that are like, I'm in it for you. I mean, at least words of chizuk. At least words of chizuk. How many single friends do you have?
Oh my gosh. Oh, they started Adopt a Shatchen. Did you hear of it?
No, I like that. No.
Adopt a Shatchen. I think what they do is that they create Shatchanim within communities. And these Shatchanim are regular people from the communities. They assign them in shuls. So, and they are connected with different people in different states. Right now, I think they're only in the United States.
Yeah.
But these people are taking care of their communities.
Love
so
that.
the likelihood of them getting dates are much greater.
It's all about numbers. It works like exponentially. The more people involved, it's actually a great shidduch group started by a woman from LA, now lives in London, called RJ Shidduch on Facebook, which I've got involved with. I like it. It's run well. It has to be run. You've got to run it tight and strict. That's the key. I realize that. If you're involved, you've got to be on it. You've got to follow the rules. And this is the way it is. You know what I'm saying? And not be scared to kick people out if they're not, So everyone's got to do something. She does this voluntary. So if you know people, RJ Shidduch on Facebook, which if you're on Facebook...
RJ Shidduch.
If you're not on Facebook, then you don't have to. But if you're on Facebook, it's worth being part of it.
How difficult has your job as a shadchan and dealing with dating has come
I'm
now?
Not a shadchan. I'm just very clear. I'm not a shadchan.
Oh, he's only.
I'm. Thank you. God bless you, my boy. I happen to be terrible at setting people up. Just I set people up and they're like, "That's what you think of me? You set me with a guy with no arms, no head, right, from Kabul. That's what you think of me." I'm like, "Yes, actually, that is what I think of you." To be honest with you, I do.
I mean,
I'm not
is that Powerade Gatorade?
Yeah, I'm zero. How do you know? Yeah, I live on this stuff. I live on it.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I live on this.
That's how we roll here.
I drink a lot of the stuff.
So you don't set people up.
I don't set people up. I try to. I do try to.
Together.
But once they are together, I will guide them through the process, and I'll guide them into marriage. So I do rabbinical. I do a lot every day. I show you the emails I get and the WhatsApp messages every single day. Questions on shidduchim and dating. Not just asking to find someone, but I'm dealing with the situation. He can't commit. Her mother doesn't like me. Every situation you can think of. Right? Dealing with in-laws.
I cannot wait to
have my next best joke. My next favorite joke. The difference between in-laws and outlaws. Outlaws are wanted. Okay. So I have wonderful in-laws. But no, dealing with them it takes time. Right? Dealing with money. Not just lack of money. I know people with lots of money and being able to figure that out, how to deal with it, what to deal with. It takes time. It doesn't just happen overnight. I know people who come from wealthy families and the parents don't want to argue. They argue through the kids. Oh, if I can tell you the story. So I'm just there to massage things out, help it, B'ezrat Hashem, end up under the chuppah.
All these stories and scenarios they're telling me, you need to have completely separate lives for dating and for marriage.
Well, unfortunately now, Shimi, dating for most people is marriage. What do I mean? They date, they go out, they go on vacation. I'm saying that they're living a married life without the chuppah. It's not a good thing. What is dating meant to be? Dating is meant to be trying to figure out as quickly and as unemotionally as possible who I'm going to spend the rest of my life with. Who's going to be the father and husband to me, or the mother of my kids and my wife. But unfortunately, everyone gets involved. So they're like, you know what? Why should I get married? This is great. It's what David Popenow from Rutgers University calls a quasi-wife. Women have become quasi-half-wives. Meaning, they're dating, they're involved to whatever point they're involved, but they're not living together. There's no responsibility. Why would I
want to jump into all that mess?
Why would I want to? When I could just, it's all good, it's all fun. So dating, unfortunately, has become marriage. So the shift from dating to actual marriage for a lot of people, that transition, turning the I into us, the me into we, has become a great challenge. And they go through these problems in the Shana Rishona, which most do. Shana Rishona is a big, big challenge for a lot of people. Now, I don't get it.
Yeah.
We were dating. He would open the car door. He would smile. She was always happy to see me, right? He wouldn't make these funny, weird noises. He wouldn't drool. And like suddenly I'm like, this is what it's meant to be. But you're now comparing, you can't compare dating when everyone looks and smells good, right? It's like comparing your wedding to your marriage. It's as stupid as that. Do you think anyone is going to get dressed up, eat your food, and dance circles around you again during your life? Imagine you call your friend a week after your chuppah. That was so much fun. Could you give me another gift and I'll pay for some more hairy chicken and you dance around? It could be insane. Right? You would never compare your wedding to marriage. You can't compare dating to marriage. Unfortunately, it's become blurred. The lines, Shimi, have become blurred. People don't realize what marriage is really all about. They think it's an extension of dating, which it's not. Dating is meant to be trying to figure out, to help you to, as we said, attain who the person I'm going to spend the rest of my life with, which, by the way, in and of itself freaks people out. Like, I'm sorry, the rest of my life? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not committing to that.
Married for 1 year. This is going to be forever. You're like, forever? I'm like, oh, forever. The boys are like, let me think twice about this.
Wow. So hold on. How did you jump into this when you first got married? How did you meet Anita?
Anita, it was a setup. I was in prison, and she was a setup. And you see, we were set up. There was a wonderful woman who neither of us knew. She had a shidduch resume. I was one of these serial daters. You know, anyone I send it to Hajioff. He's always willing to, break them into someone. So I did.
You have a number? You have a number? Like these guys are like 130.
No, I didn't. It was a lot. It was a lot. I mean, whatever.
You lost count.
I lost count. In Mispar. So like Yosef, I started. Whatever. So I dated a long time. And he just said, I know a girl, a photo, I don't have a photo. And we met. And actually, I had to marry her, if you ask her, because I had no money left. I went back to yeshiva, got a rabbi. I got money left. I'm stuck with you. She said, all right, I'm stuck with you too. And that was it. Complete different backgrounds, different. And, we're complete opposites.
Yeah, because you're Sparty.
People very nervous. Like, oh, I can't date my opposite. Marrying opposites, great. Because I can't do anything. I can't run the bills and run the business. I'm Mr. Inspiration. I'm having a good time. Let's play. Let's go out. Let's inspire the Jews. My wife is like, yeah, can you take out the garbage, please? I'm like, what? What? Wait. Like, we have bills to pay. I'm like, I thought this plastic card is free money. You just swipe it, you get stuff. I didn't realize. So it's good to have someone who's your opposite. People say to me, they're so different. I'm like, that's actually a good sign. But I will tell you one story I've never told before online before. I know it's all coming out. I don't get interviewed too often.
Now I'm not believing this anymore.
This is true. No one
used that line too many times.
No one's heard the story before. This is a true story. Not online. I told her that I had to propose to my wife. And back then, you didn't have like fancy ways. So we actually went to London to visit my parents because, I wanted to introduce my family to my, So I proposed to her in London. And then we got into the plane, and this is pre 9/11. That's a caveat. You'll see why that's an important part of the story. So I got on, and I said to me, oh, my stomach hurts. I have to use the bathroom before we take off. And I went into the cockpit and said, is the captain here? This is back then when you could actually do that. You could actually do that, before 9/11.
That's how old Rabbi Hajioff is, folks.
22. Anyway, now I'm 48. Anyway, I went to go back, and I said to the pilot, listen, I'm on board with my girlfriend. I like to propose to her. He was like a British Airways. Okay, what's the name? Seat number. And what seat she in? 32C. And you're 32B. Okay, very good. And her name is Anita Porak. Okay, very, very nice. Very, very good. I went back to the seat, and I forgot about it. I promised this plane took off. And suddenly, this is true stuff. The captain comes online. This is before cell phones. I couldn't film. The captain comes online, and he says, ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking over here. We have a young boy called Lawrence Hajioff. He's in seat 32B. And her eyes went like this. She went, all right, like a deer in the headlights. And he's sitting next to his girlfriend, Anita Porak, 32B. And he'd like to propose. Anita, what do you say? It's a true story. And the whole place was jumbo jet. Right? Everyone's like, say yes, say yes. And the steward comes over to her, right, and says, what do you say? She's like, I say yes. Right? And he went back and he announced and says, Anita says yes. And I was like, yeah, cheering. And he came over to us with a bottle of champagne. And I'm like, I can't drink it. It's not kosher. But I said, I'll take an upgrade to first class if it's available. They'll let know it's gone. So that was that. So that's how I officially proposed to my wife. Yeah.
See, his son is learning how Rabbi Hajioff proposed for the first time. Rabbi Hajioff, when you said the flight attendant came over, I thought she was going to be like, "Ma'am, do you need me to save you? We could take you up to first class."
I was like, "Where's the parachute? I'm out of here. Get me the heck out of here, sister." No, that's the Khalila.
Rabbi Hajioff proposed on a plane, ladies and gentlemen. That's insane.
Never told it online. I've told that story in Shema Brachot, but never online.
Wow. So there's a lot of first timers. I better save this schmooze. This is crazy. Someone wants to know how many, was it years that you were dating?
No, we did it pretty quickly. We dated for...
No, not with Anita. Anita, like, you saw her and you were like, I want to marry you.
Yes, yeah. I got married at 28 and I started 22. So yeah, it was years and it was late, yeah. It was very, very late.
So folks, don't give up. Don't give up.
No, please do not give up. There's a number of metaphors Chazal use for getting married, Shimi. One of them is Kriyat Yam Suf. Kriyat Yam Suf, right? One a famous metaphor, right? The Gemara tells us, right? So I've always wondered why, and I did a lot of research into this. I have a number of answers, but one famous one I always say is, who made the sea split? So if you watch the movie, the book is better. But if you watch the movie, Ten Commandments, Moses is there, right? Charlton Heston puts his staff over, and the water split, right? And God's got an American accent for some strange reason. He doesn't he has a British accent, okay? But we'll leave that aside. And so the sea split, but that's not what happened. Initially, it happened eventually. There was a great leader, a prince from the tribe of Yehuda, Nachshon ben Aminadab. And we know that he went into the water, the Gemara tells us, not in the Torah. And the water went to his ankles, it went to his knees, and his stomach, his chest, and up to here. And he was about to die, went over his mouth. Sea split. What do we learn? Sometimes you have to have faith to just jump in. Everyone's is the right for me. I hear this all the time. I'll give you 20 reasons why I should get married and shouldn't get married. I'm like, you know what? At some point, you just have to jump in. Nachshon ben Aminadab. That's one. I have others. One of the reasons why we connect the Kriyat Yam Suf to not only finding your shidduch, but to marriage as well. It's not just finding your shidduch, it's also marriage, interestingly.
To marriage. Wow. Don't ever give up. Don't ever. I'm thinking about that also. Like, just don't give up. It's hard.
And I have daughters who are getting close to the. So I'm very paranoid because I work with singles all the time. I know the mistakes singles are making. So I'm always like telling my daughters, and they're like, Abba, it's enough already. Shut up.
B'ezrat Hashem, they're all gonna find. You're gonna be like the best father-in-law ever.
I'm gonna be. Have whatever you want.
When my husband came to my father to ask him to marry me, for his permission.
Yeah.
So he was so nervous. He didn't know, like, Moroccan man, like, he was so scared. My father wouldn't, like, he's like such a lemala. And Danielle comes and he's like, Abba, Danino, I just want to ask your permission for, if I can marry Shimrit. I was called Shimrit back then. I don't know when I became Shimi. And my father's like, you happy? She happy? Ma ta rotze mimeni? Go do whatever you need to do.
I had to do the same thing. I never forget. I had to ask my father-in-law is Israeli, Ashkenazi, like a lifetime army guy. One of these guys, like the army, very strict, very sharp. I was petrified. I sat down with him. I never forget, like yesterday. I said, listen, I've been dating your daughter for a few months, which for him was insane, obviously. And I said, I'd like to ask for your daughter's hand in marriage. And he looks at me and says, one piece of advice for you. You must compromise. She is and he gave me a 1 hour lecture, now we're very close, very friendly, about marriage, about compromising, being good, and being straight with his daughter. At the end of that, I'm like, you know what? I'm taking it back. I'll find out what else. No, he gave me a whole long schmooze. And by the way, he gave me some great advice. I wish I would have heeded some of it, to be honest with you. I should have listened.
Well, now you use it in all your shidduch schmoozes, I'm sure.
That I do.
Guys,
That I do. You know, there's another challenge with shidduchim now as well. By the way, this is a topic I talk about for hours. There's a lot of
excited. So you're telling me we have a lot to talk about in my follow-up shidduch. Okay, yeah.
red flags in dating. There's a lot of red flags in dating, you know, and this has become a big problem. People think that any red flags that come up with a dating deal breaker, like that they're so perfect. You know what? He does this, she does that, right? I'm like, you know what? These are red flags. I understand, but not every red flag is a deal breaker. No one's perfect. There's challenges. There's a lot of challenges, and no one is perfect. And let's not forget, having done it, you have to judge people favorably. You know, very quick to judge. Just another thing with in our generation. Very quick to judge things. We see one thing. One person says something. They've been our friends for years. One statement. Khalas. No more. We're no more friends.
So how do you know that? That's like a really fine line. Because like, I remember at seminary we had what's that organization called? Shalom Task Force.
Shalom Task Force. Oh, very good.
They come and
organization. There are signs. By the way, there are clear in my book. Actually, mention it. There's clear signs to look out for that you're dating someone who's abusive. Not physically, not only physically, emotionally too. There are some red flags which are deal breakers, right? But sometimes they're not. So you do have to watch out for things. And by the way, if you ask any abused woman or even anyone who went through divorce, pretty much they will always tell you they saw signs where they were dating, but they were so head over heels in love, they ignored them. They always saw the signs very early while they were dating. That's what I've heard. So you can see, you should look out for things. You should be aware. You should be consciously dating. You need to be self-aware, right? You need to understand what's going on. And by the way, most people don't know what to look for. That's why everyone needs a mentor. You need a rabbi, a rebbe, I don't care. You need a mentor to guide you through. You have a doctor to take care of your body. You have a trainer, right, to keep you physically fit. Don't take care of your car. You need a rabbi. You need a psychiatrist, therapist to take care of your psyche. You need a rabbi who's going to guide you through this. It's very
Rabbi Hajioff, what do we tell people who want a rabbi and they don't have access to it? Whether they went to public school, they're unaffiliated. Where do they even start to finding this mentor? Whether they want to just connect to Judaism, which a lot of people are trying to reconnect.
Are you telling me people haven't found buyrabbi.com? Hello?
All you need is Rabbi Hajioff, guys. Just go to Rabbi. You're good to go.
The truth is, everyone needs a rabbi or a spiritual leader. By the way, when I say rabbi, I don't just mean someone who has smicha. Happens to be one of my greatest advisors to this very day, sells insurance. He's a Baal Tshuva, and I have many rabbis. You go on my phone, type in rabbi, 400 turn up. But I go to him for advice for Itzah. So it's not just, you need someone who is successful in marriage. Someone, I'm talking about dating specifically. But someone who's in a good, healthy, emotional, stable marriage, you can go to that person for advice and leadership. No problem. Male or female. It's all the same nowadays. Absolutely no problem. So when I talk about rabbi as a spiritual guy, spiritual leader, you have a rabbi. You have to have a rabbi. Selach a Rav. You have to find a rabbi. By the way, Selach a Rav means also make yourself into a rabbi. Know what you need to know so you understand what is and isn't a question. Selach a Rav could be answered two ways. But you need someone who's going to be there as a spiritual advisor. And I had someone I was dating who was a married man. He actually used to work in title insurance. And he would come and still does and gives me advice and leads me and shows me and tells me. And by the way, a real friend, Shimi, is nowadays friends are, you're so great. You're so amazing. I love you. You look so good. That's not a friend. Right? That's a sycophant. What you're looking for is someone who's going to say to you, why did you say that? What are you doing? You need to do this, you do that. And it's really leading you and giving you advice, which is uncomfortable. Everyone needs 2-3 friends. I have a friend of mine, close friend, Chaim David. And I'll call, you know what I did? I did this. He's like, what are you doing? That's all you say. It's all you act. And he'll talk straight to me. He will talk straight to me. Everyone needs that in a friend.
We need that. It doesn't necessarily have to be a rabbi. You have to have a rabbi.
Yes, you have to have a rabbi. But that doesn't mean you only have a rabbi. Everyone needs a mentor. Someone you can go to. Rabbis are too busy. A lot of them are too busy. right? They're just inundated. So find yourself someone else. There's lots of great, amazing, spiritual, holy people out there, men, women, represents. It's all. There's no lack. There's no lack. There's no excuses. You can find someone in your community. And by the way, I get phone calls and emails from people. I had a girl from Wisconsin just today, right? Reach out to me, ask me questions, so I answer. Wisconsin. I don't know where Wisconsin
And they find
is.
you. They find you from Facebook.
She was on Instagram Live. She came to me just today from Wisconsin. But we're living in a flat world. It's just the way it is, right? Our community is every Jew everywhere. This is something our ancestors couldn't even imagine.
People are loving your advice.
I'm very pleased. I have a lot more to say. I have a lot more.
What's the book called? They're asking. I want to know the book.
The book is called Will Jew Marry Me? I'll put it in the chat over here. Shameless plug. I don't care. Yeah, Will Jew Marry Me?
Would you marry me? I'm going to post them all. I'm going to post the links. I think I posted it to one of the books today.
Thank you.
But I want to post the other ones. I love them. I'm actually getting my copy.
Queen Shimi, I appreciate it. Thank you, Hashem.
From I need my thank you, Hashem cap. Anybody? So hold on. I remember someone told me when I was dating, because I was like, oh my gosh, they're so nice to the waiters and the waitress, because it's that dating life really is good, like you said.
Yeah.
No, but like when you're physically with them, as opposed to just Zooming with just us, and it's not whatever. But when you see them interact with other people, and I was like, wow, they're so nice to the waiter and the waitress. I'm sorry, they're so nice to me, but they're not nice to the waiter and waitress.
I'll tell you why it's important. You know, you go to the parking lot and you give your ticket in, and then someone comes after you, gives that ticket, they get the car first. Say, hey, buddy, what's going on over here? Right? That's a bad sign. Right? That is actually a red flag. It may not be a deal breaker, but it's a red flag. Why? I'll tell you why. They're treating people who are lower down on the totem pole not nicely. And eventually, you, their spouse, at some point in your marriage, will be lower down on the totem pole. And they're going to do the same to you. No. I'm the husband, I'm the wife, you're going to treat me that way. I had a guy once. I actually did his wedding. He went on a date with a girl to a restaurant, and she got a little drunk on the date, which you should never drink on a date. You don't eat spaghetti bolognese noodles because it goes everywhere, and you don't drink on a date. How many mistakes? Nechnas hayayin yotze asod. Right? The wine goes in, the secrets come out. Actually, nechnas hayayin, a lot more comes out, unfortunately, if you drink too much. So he went on the date, and this girl drank a little bit too much. Stupid. Such a silly mistake. Amateur mistake. So what exactly? The waitress comes over and spills some wine on her dress. Terrible. The girl, my friend told me, my student told me, went crazy. Look what you did to me. It's a brand new dress. And she was drunk, so she lost it. The manager came out. He's like, I'll pay for your meal. It's free. I'll clean the dress. I'll pay for the dress. And she crushes, and the waitress was crying. She crushed this poor girl. And then afterwards, back to normal. I said to the guy, hey, he called me up. I said, it's a big problem.
Run for your life. Run the other way.
This is a big, big problem. And people say, no, I'll change them. No, you won't. No, you won't. What you see is what you get. Marriage magnifies the personality. If they were nice before, they're really nice once they get married. If they're mean before, they're really mean. Marriage is a magnifying glass of personality traits where it just explodes afterwards. That's what it becomes.
Guys, don't marry someone to change them.
No,
we can't change anybody.
If you're listening, I see a lot of young children over here. What are you up so late for? The key is...
Well, there's all the people behind the black screens are all the adults that don't want to show their face.
They're hiding. I know. I got you. All you little Galaxy iPhone people. I know you are. You know what it is? You got to work on yourself. Make yourself good. And then everything else will be good. You can only make yourself better. You know, they say the Chafetz Chaim, they say, try to change the world. I said, I couldn't do it. I'll change Poland. I couldn't do it. I'll change Radin. I'll change my family. I couldn't do it. He said, no, I'll change me. Then he changed his family. Then he changed Radin, and eventually changed the entire world. Who doesn't learn the works of the Chafetz Chaim? You got to start in, out. Everyone's out there, trying to change everybody else. You're not good. I'm going to make you better, Shimi. I'm going to make you. I'm perfect. You know what? You need help. Let me help you do this.
Right. That's what we were just learning yesterday. You want to change the situation, change yourself. And
it really is true. I didn't think it was true. I promise you it's true. It's the secret to life, the universe, and everything, and marriage.
yes. So what would you're telling us what to look for, like what are red flags, to don't judge so quickly. What is something that we should look for? Like what's the sign? Like what are the signs that we should look for? Like, you know what? He or she is the one.
Okay. It's going to sound corny again, but it's really, really true. Kind people. People who are kind and thoughtful, that's what you're looking for. I'm telling you, the looks, they're going to disappear. I'm going to assume, I make an assumption that people only marry people they're physically attracted to, who they find cute and good looking. You know what I'm saying? And that's important. It's important. You're going to wake up every morning for the rest of your life, look at the face next to you and say, Modani lefanecha melech lai v'kayam. That much making me wake up next to this punim, right? There's no doubt about it. So we're going to assume that people are physically attracted. The next thing I'm telling you is kindness. It's really the underpinning of everything. If you find someone who's kind and caring, no matter what differences come up, because it's going to be so many challenges. There's so many things going to happen, right, during your life. Kindness will get you through them. If they're nice and they're good people. That is the key. Marrying for money, it says in Perek Avot, it tells you, right, it's not going to work. You cannot do that. Any love that is talui on a davar, says in Perek Avot, any love that is dependent on a thing, when that thing goes, the love goes as well. And the underpinning of a good, healthy relationship, any relationship, is goodness and kindness. That is what you're looking for.
I agree.
Underpinning. I believe it. I'll say it 1,000 times. We talk about love, ahava. Everyone says, "Oh, Rabbi, I want to fall in love. I want to be in love with a person." I'm like, what is love? Right? What is ahava? And what is it? A cream being sold by the Israelis in the malls of America for 10 times the right price? That's what love is. You got no idea what you're talking about. Love, we learn as children, comes from the word hav. Hav means to give. The mistake people make, and everyone makes this mistake, is you give somebody something and you think they should love me. But we know that's not true. We know that's not true. Because we give things to people and they hate us. They resent us. Right? We give our kids whatever they want, and if not done the right way, they end up despising us. What we're saying is, if you hear this, it was worth my mother having me. If you give somebody something, you love them. The love follows the giving. That's what Rabbi Dessler teaches us. I say that again. The word love in Hebrew is ahava. The root of the word is hav, means to give. If you give somebody something, you love them. Why does Shimi love the world? Why do you love everyone? Because you give to them. It doesn't mean I love everyone, therefore I give to them. It's the other way around. You give, and the more you give, the more you love. That's why, says the Gemara, a mother loves the child more than the child loves the mother. Why is that? Why do we love our kids more than love us? They love us, kind of. Sometimes they hate us, yeah? Because we give. The more you give, the more you love. Therefore, be very careful who you give to. Because you don't want to fall in love with everyone. There's only so much bandwidth that we have in order to create loving relationships. We have concentric circles. We have a spouse, then our kids, and then our family, and then our Jewish community, and Jews in Israel. There's a certain like a bullseye archery board. Whoever you give to, you're going to love. So be very, very careful. Giving has to be the right time, in the right place, and the right person. And I see young men and young women who'll be like, I broke up and I'm broken. Like, how do you date? 3 dates. I'm like, you obviously gave too much. Sounds crazy, right? You were too involved. I'll tell you one quick story. It's a true story. It's actually in my book. I don't know if you have time, but
we do. I love your stories.
There was a young couple who came to see me a number of years ago. A young couple who came to see me, and they were sitting in my office, and the girl looked at me. They come to see the rabbi.
Oh, was dating? Or?
Dating. They'd been dating for 2-3 years. She was at Fordham, he was at Cordova, they're both in law school. They were in their early 20s. And they came to see me. If a couple comes to see me, there's a problem. They don't come to see me. Rabbi, just let you know, everything's great. So they'd been on a trip with me. They'd been dating for years before. They came on a trip with me, so I got to know them both. And they sat down with me, and she looks at me, she says, Rabbi, I want to get married. And I said, I'm very complimented, but I'm already married. She said, no, not to you, to this guy. So I said, well, so what's the problem? She says, well, I'm looking to get married in the next year or so. They were traditional, not religious Jews, traditional Jews, very traditional. And he's not wanting to get married for another 4 or 5 years. You know, the average age of marriage has risen 1 year every 10 years. Girls used to be 23 in the 1960s when they got married. Now they're in their late 20s. Men, most in the religious world, they have to get married young for other reasons. They're like forced into it. But generally speaking, you're hitting 20, 29, 30, you're just maybe getting into the zone. Secular Jews, which I deal with because I work in Kiruv, 30 years old is standard. This is also true among religious Jews as well. So he said, I'm not ready to get married. I'm in law school. I got debt, undergrad. I got to pay off Cordoza. I can't afford to get married. I'm not going to marry 4 or 5 years. What should we do? So I've asked this question to thousands of people, and I've heard every answer to this question. Made them compromise. Do 2.5. But she doesn't want to get married 2.5 years, and he doesn't want to get married too early. Tell them to break up. I'm like, what? I'm going to tell a couple to break up for that reason? You can't tell a couple to break up.
How do you handle all this pressure?
You have to figure out. You just point out the future results of their actions now. So you don't tell people what to do. You say, you follow this path, this is going to happen. You follow that. But I did something interesting. And this is the key point I want to share with you. You're going to enjoy this a lot. I said, if you were to break up right now, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the least, 10 being the most, how upset would you be? So she immediately says 10 out of 10. She gets very emotional. You know, the mascara starts coming down, starts crying, the snot bubble, the whole thing. She was very, very emotional. I turned to him and I said, how upset would you break up right now? Do you know what he said to me? 6 out of 10.
Oh, burn. Would you like some aloe vera for that, miss?
So you know what? Everyone who hears that story has the same reaction. Like, oh, I can't believe it would say such a thing. I didn't think that because I plugged in the information I just gave you. The more you give, the more you love. All I knew at this point was that she had given a lot more to the relationship than he had. He did love her. He wasn't lying. But he had only loved her 6 out of 10. So I know that he was much less committed to the relationship based upon the amount of giving. So I knew that once they broke up, so what did they do? So I said, listen, I spoke to her, not him. He had a great thing going. He had a beautiful girl from a wonderful family who's willing just to keep dating. So I spoke to her. I said, are you a gambling woman? She says, no, why? I said, you could roll the dice. You can spin the wheel, place your bets. And in 5 years, maybe you'll be ready to get married. Maybe you won't. You never know. It's a risk. It's a gamble. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. So what do they do? Standard. She went home. They thought about it. They broke up. Back together. In, out, in, out. Within a few months, she'd given up. She did what I always tell people. You're going to break up. Rip the Band-Aid. Don't drag it on. Don't
cut it off completely.
Rip that bad boy off. It's painful. You'll cry for a couple of weeks. You'll be depressed for 3 weeks. Then get up. You know what? You'll be sad. Date anyway. And she ripped it off. She got married literally within 6 months, found a guy, and he's still living with his girlfriend.
7 years later. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. People are saying, Rabbi Hajioff, you are more than a rabbi. You are a psychologist.
Every rabbi needs to be. I'm also psychotic. Actually, my marriage is psychological. I'm psycho, my wife is logical. Okay, enough of the jokes. How many jokes? I'm giving you gold over here. I'm giving you gold.
I love this. No, really, how do you deal with all, like, I wouldn't be able to deal with a couple sitting in front of me, and the guy's like, 6 out of 10. I'll be like, oh, no, you didn't, boy.
Oh, no, you did.
Out of my office, right now.
Get out. Get out of my office. People have to be honest. People are honest. People are honest.
No, really, I'm asking a serious question. What do you do? Like, you're cringing in your seat? And do you have like a
at this point,
squish ball?
At this point, I'm used to it. You know, lahavdil, you know, the nurse sees the babies come out. When my baby was born, I'm like, oh my God, there's a creature, there's a living being. And the nurse is like, with the eye drops in, taking the footprint, handprint. You see, I'm used to it. There was one occasion where I did say, you need to break up right now. There was one time
Can we hear?
Now you're going to break up right now. I can't go too much into detail. There's young children, for some reason, up at 10 to 11 watching this, but I will just say he admitted during the date during the meeting. By the way, meeting where they came to me to ask whether they should get engaged, just to be clear. And during the meeting, he admitted.
Pause you for 1 second before you say what they're about to say. Guys, the next live with Rabbi Hajioff about dating, I'm making it at 12 a.m. The late
The
show.
real Rabbi Hajioff.
Because I want to know.
Story.
We want to know the nitty gritty details. Like, I don't want
to. I'm giving you the pre-water
kosher version,
sanitized kosher version. He basically admitted that he was addicted to a certain drug, which she was not aware of, right there and then. And I said, break up right now. Break up right now. This is not going to happen. And she didn't listen.
He didn't turn to her. Was like, I'm joking. I'm addicted to you. He didn't do that. Shoot.
No.
No.
He didn't. He didn't. He wiped his nose and he said, I'm doing something. And I said, break up right now. Break up right now, I said, and never see each other again. I've never done that. Otherwise, I just kind of guide. That was one. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is really a problem. And her life is in danger. And she got engaged anyway.
Wow.
And by the way, this guy came, I should mention this as a side point. It's worth knowing this part. It's true. From a very, very famous Jewish family. If I said the name, you'd be like, oh my goodness. He was a grandchild of a very wealthy, well-known religious family that pretty much everyone said the name of. And that carried him through life. He had no challenges his entire life. He had whatever he wanted on a plate given to him. And he was a bum. I'm sorry.
But someone's asking, are they still married?
Oh, no. They never got married. They got engaged and never got married.
They're still engaged 20 years later.
They didn't get married. No. But she did get engaged. Oh, no, a marriage.
Okay. Wow, guys,
I got another story. Enough now. Remind me another time of the other story that involved
Rabbi Hajioff, I'm writing all these notes down. Everything you got to tell me.
Just remind me the story. One story about Say Yes to the Dress. I was on that show once. There's a show called, I've never seen it, but called Say Yes to the Dress. There was one story involving a couple. This is a really nutty story, but that's not for now. We'll save that for the past midnight. Oh,
I'm not joking. I'm here. I'm going to do whatever I can for the Olam. No, because I'll tell you why. We didn't advertise the Shimmy Shmooze as for the dating. And people were telling me, Shimmy, if you would write this, I'm going to tune in. You know, because like this is what.
If you want, I'll be happy to. I need to come back. We'll make an organized schmooze with certain topics I go through based upon the chapter of the book, and we'll make it very, very clear.
Yeah, after I get the book, I'm making a whole. I'm so excited. Could you believe we're down to the 10-minute countdown for the second hour with you? Wow. Insane!
Wow.
I'm telling you, the Shimmy
Me and you,
Shmooze.
we can schmooze the Shimmy Shmooze all night. It's all night.
But you are your guy. How many of you your cheeks are hurting you? You have such a gift. It's such a bracha to make people laugh. Wow. Some people try, but they epically fail. I'm like, just don't even try. We need the Kleinfeld story. Is that for you? The Kleinfeld story?
Kleinfeld?
Weiß nicht. But people are loving your psychological joke. I'm psycho. My wife is logical.
Some people flip that, but not me. I don't flip that. I sound psycho.
You own it. You own your psycho.
Yes. Jimmy, we're going to inspire the Jews. We've got to inspire. We're going to bring them back. We're losing them hand over fist into marriage over 50%. Jimmy, you got to keep doing what you're doing. I must tell everyone. Yeah, I should have said it the first hour. I regret it already. You did my daughter's bat mitzvah, bracha's bat mitzvah. I promise, and I say this is truth. People ask me what the bat mitzvah was like. I say, people were walking around. This is the exact description I'm giving you right now. Eating sushi, right? We're in some shul basement. They're like fressing now. And people are talking, walking. And suddenly, Daniel's on the keyboard. He's like, ooh, right? And you pick up the microphone. And this is how I describe it. You can ask anyone. There's this swell of energy, like a nuclear wave that came through and suddenly, oh my God, suddenly all these kids that were just like they're fressing, suddenly, whoa! and you made my daughter Bracha, my middle child, which they don't tell anyone our secret, is my favorite. Whatever, let's not discuss it.
By the way, I think
she's my soul girl.
She's my Facebook screen. Like, that's my picture.
Really?
Like,
you gotta send me that photo. She loves you, and you lifted her up at that bat mitzvah. She was going through a bit of a difficult time at that point, right? Academic school, and you lifted her up, and the entire room. And my mother was there. She's like, "What just happened?" And I said, Shimi began.
Shimi happened.
And I
Shimi happened.
her done. Do you do bar mitzvahs, by the way? It's because I have a son. Just like you do bar mitzvahs.
I would, by the way, I would love to do bar mitzvahs. Like, so I go as a guest to bar mitzvahs, and sometimes I just stand there and I'm like, can I just go in and do my thing for 5 minutes? Like, there's a boy there, there's a boy there. We got to bring them together.
You got to bring them in. You got to bring them in.
That's a secret. I feel like in order to make the bat mitzvah girl feel good, you got to make everybody else feel good too, because if they feel good, they're going to be on the dance floor.
It reminds me of, absolutely. And you have that ability, Shimi. I've seen you do it in Pesach programs. I've seen it about mitzvah to bring them in. This is what we are. This is now. Hashem gave you a talent, thank God. Baruch Hashem, and you're able to make a living doing it as well. It's a big schut. It's a big schut. You know, I must tell you something.
Thank you, Hashem.
I told you in the, did I mention, oh no, in the last class. I don't know where I am nowadays. I mean, so many classes. So
that was with your Latina friends.
So we know that before Mashiach comes, now flipping to Mashiach. Before Mashiach comes, Nevuah is going to return to the Jewish people. Now, first of all, you should know that Shaul...
That's how you knew that the mother-in-law was going to faint? Mind blown.
So prophecy is going to return. Shaul, well, how did King Saul get his prophecy? The first prophecy of King Saul, the first king of Israel, he saw people playing drums to music. He joined in with the music. He became a Navi. Music and prophecy are deeply connected. I'll say something else. Before Mashiach comes, prophecy is going to return to the Jewish people. The prophet Joel tells us, chapter 3, that prophecy is going to return not just to a few people, to all the Jewish people. He says, to Canaan and the Ketanim, the men, the women, the children. Just like we all had prophecy went through Kriyat Yam Suf, and we all had prophecy at Har Sinai, so too, everyone's going to have Nevuah. And music, we know, is part of that. Why did King David, why is always King David in his harp? What's the obsession? He used to put a harp in the window, and he would hear it, it would make him happy. If you're happy, you become a Navi. The Rambam says, if you're not happy, you don't get Nevuah. Some of the greatest prophets in history, Yaakov Avinu, Moshe Rabbeinu, they got upset, Nevuah taken away, prophecy taken away. Now I know the Jewish people are no longer a prophet organization. I know that. But Shimi, it's going to come back. And it comes back through Simcha. It's connected.
Wow.
And that comes from happiness and from music. Bam.
I have to tell you something crazy, even though we're down to our 4-minute countdown.
Yes.
So I do events. Oh my God. I'm not down to my 4-minute countdown. We're down to a minute countdown. Okay. I did not. 2 hours with Rabbi Hajioff feels like 2 minutes. Right, guys? Look at all everyone saying yeah. Okay. Everybody loved it. We're going to be back. I give you my word, Rabbi Hajioff. We're going to be back. What should we talk about next time? Mashiach or dating?
I'm happy to do the Kleinfeld story, by the way, is that story, by the way. Yeah. I don't know who wrote that. It's private. But yeah, it's that story over there. It's that story over there. So I know exactly what they're talking about now. Whatever you want, Shimi, I'm around.
We'll be in touch. I want to give a bracha to continue doing what you're doing, spreading simcha and smiles and making our cheeks hurt on social media. Just meeting you and you and Anita are light onto the Jewish nation, onto the world.
Thank you so much. And you, God really keep up the good work. I see these followers. I see these people like fans over here holding up scarves. These children love you. These are holy Jewish children over here, and they love Shimi. This is so amazing. You have an amazing following. It should grow 10,000 times. Bring them back.
Amen. Amen. Till next time, guys, keep you posted. Rabbi Hajioff.
Thank you so much.
Keep on making the world a better place and making people smile.
Thank you, Shimi.
All right, Laila Tov, everybody. Bye.